All right, so I don't normally talk about this, but I figured I'd talk to you guys about it. Growing up, I was never the most confident kid. I was so shy and unconfident that whenever my parents and I would go to a friend's party, whenever we would walk into the house, I would hide behind my mom or my dad. And I would absolutely refuse to go grab food by myself. I was so shy and unconfident that I felt like I needed to run away from the world. I remember that whenever I would meet new people, I would, turn around, look away, and hide myself, make myself as small as possible. Now, the reason why I'm telling you about this is because I want to talk about where confidence comes from. Where does my confidence come from? Because, like I said, growing up, I was never confident. So how did this happen? I mean, growing up, I was bullied. I grew up in the Philippines and I was always an outlier. A lot of kids would make fun of the way I looked. I remember my nickname was a fish. My nickname was Budlis. It sounds so funny, but it's a type of fish in the Philippines, and it's so weird that they would come up with that nickname. But yeah, right off the bat, from kindergarten all the way to 4th grade, that was my nickname. And having your nickname be a fish isn't something to be proud of, right? They were obviously making fun of me, they were mocking me, and they just wanted to belittle me. But despite all of that, there's something that got me out of that. I remember despite feeling such an outlier amongst the kids, I always felt okay with myself, and it's because I was doing something for myself, and that was fishing. You might be wondering, David, what the hell does this have to do with confidence? Well, let me tell you this. Fishing gave me confidence because it gave me evidence that I was good at something. I was an island boy. I would go fish for fun. I would also fish for necessity. And whenever I would fish for necessity and I would catch a fish and I would eat that for lunch or eat that for dinner, that would give me confidence. It gave me evidence that I was good enough. It gave me the evidence that I was capable. It gave me the stack of evidence that I'm not as small as people make me out to be. And so when it comes to confidence, what you really need is a stack of evidence, right? For example, I drove to this location, and driving here, I wasn't questioning whether I can get to this location. I knew that I could drive to this location safely. Why? Because I have a stack of evidence. Because I've been driving for the last 12 years. And very good at it, if I may add. I have the evidence that I can drive to my destination and I'll get there just fine. So I had that stack of evidence to support this confidence that I have. And so evidence is so powerful because it can either make or break you. Let me explain. When you have a stack of evidence, it gives you so much confidence that you're able to do the thing that you're trying to do. For example, I can confidently talk about making $10,000 a month. I can confidently talk about making $20,000, $30,000 a month. Why? Because I have a stack of evidence that I am able to do that because I've done it before. And so the biggest lesson here that I want you to take away is go and search for evidence. Unfortunately, you also do have to be careful with evidence because this is why a lot of people are not confident, because they would do one thing and then they would not get the feedback that they're looking for, and they would use that as evidence to never do it again. For example, if let's say you try to pitch a product or a service to somebody, right? And then they reject you. Now you have just been given the evidence that the product or the service that you're trying to pitch is not good. You have the evidence that you will get rejected. And unfortunately, if you actually really take in that evidence, then that's going to stop you from ever doing anything again. That's going to stop you from going and pitching another product or pitching another service. So evidence can also become very, very negative. it could be used against you. Now, you just have to be able to see things from a greater perspective so that this doesn't limit you. So the bottom line here is you should always go and seek out for evidence. And the only way to really get evidence is by going out and trying. You gotta try and try. And if you're not getting the outcome that you're looking for, then it just goes to show that you may have to revise it a little bit, because at the end of the day, sometimes we might think that something is a great idea, but ultimately you have to let the market dictate that for you. You might think that this product or your service that you're offering to people might be the greatest thing, and it, on paper it might be, but at the end of the day, if the market doesn't want it, if the market is rejecting it and is giving you the evidence that they don't want it, then it's time to move on. Now, I'm not saying that to discourage you from doing anything. I'm trying to actually do the opposite. I'm trying to encourage you to go and keep doing a lot of things, keep trying, keep shooting your shot, and just get evidence, right? You might get one step closer each time. The first time you might do it, you might not get the result that you want. But if you try again, you revise it, you get the evidence that, okay, I did this one thing, but it didn't work that great because XYZ happened. Okay, cool, that's the evidence. Now, what can you do to make it better? There's that classic saying where insanity is when you're trying the same thing and expecting a different result. And so if you're trying to do something and you're getting the exact same result and you're not changing on what you're doing, then you're gonna be insane.